What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to a new video. Today I don't have a box break or a mail day or anything like that. I actually have a more unique video, and that is all the supplies and different ways I store and protect cards. So I've actually done one of these before long ago, but those videos kind of get buried down below all the older videos. So a lot of you guys haven't seen that one, and it's also kind of updated a bit, so I thought I'd make a new one. I've noticed a ton of new collectors coming into the hobby, and they've been asking me like crazy, hey, how do you do this, how do you do that? So I thought maybe I would make some videos on just beginner tips, must need to know stuff like that. And protecting your cards is one of the most important things, so I'm going to kind of go in depth into all the stuff today. First off, where to buy supplies. So a lot of you guys do have a card shop, a local card shop, or LCS as we call it, and they'll sell supplies there. They'll sell boxes to store your cards, and there's a lot of different varieties of those. And they'll also sell supplies like this, and there's just tons of different options. And so you can always go get it there. And the good part about those is you can bring the card in physically and see, which one you want the most. Like if you have a card that's this thick and you're not exactly sure which top loader to get, you can kind of bring it in, or a similar card, and just size it up. Over time you will understand the sizing a little better, because I remember when I first started collecting, I had no clue, and then now I can immediately look at a card and know what size to put it in. So that being said, if you don't have a card shop, a local card shop, you can also get supplies at Walmart and Target, which have like sleeves and binders which I don't use really, but they have stuff like that, some top loaders. You can also get them online. So eBay will have the largest variety of different things you can use to protect, so like sleeves and team bags, stuff like that. They'll have different fits, different materials, different everything. eBay has all of it. The problem is eBay can be a little messy. So I would suggest that if you're looking for supplies, to go to either Dave and Adams, DA Card World, Steel City Collectibles, and or Blowout Cards. So Dave and Adams, DA Card World, Steel City Collectibles, Blowout Cards. So if you Google those, you'll find them. And if you go on their site, they'll have on their menu a supply section, and you can just browse through all the supplies. So I'm not going to go into binders and storage of cards, because those are ultimately up to you. I used to store them all in a brown cardboard box, and then I got some vault boxes, and I got some like 3-row boxes, and I put all my cards in there. But they vary in width, they vary in height. So for graded cards, for mag cards, top loaded cards, it's kind of just up to what you're really trying to protect. All right, so we're gonna go into kind of the essentials, I would say. All right, so I'm gonna go into the very basics that I use, and I think that all beginner collectors should buy if you're gonna buy supplies, because they can be very expensive. And once again, I'd fully say go on those sites I mentioned and just browse the supplies first before you go into purchasing things, because you don't want to buy stuff that you don't need, and then all of a sudden you have 3 size top loaders that you don't need. You have a bunch of different miscellaneous stuff. Definitely do your research first, and not just with supplies, but everything. So first things first, this is one thing I have from BCW. I understand most of you guys won't have this, but this is available online. So if you search this up, the card thickness point gauge, you can find a picture of it, for example, and you can size it up to the actual proportions to see. Most thin cards like this and base cards fall into that 20 to 35 point sizing, and they go in standard stuff. So I'll show you that now. Thicker stuff is this is like medium thickness, everything here gray and lower, and then anything larger than that I would consider pretty thick. So you can Google these, and they're very helpful. I don't use these anymore because I don't need them. But if you also go to your shop, they might not have them, but they may have top loaders like this, which show the sizes on the back. So if you have a similar card or the card itself that you want to protect, you can kind of hold it up and see what size it is. So we'll put these to the side now. And I have right here a Michael Porter Jr. Hollow. Now this card is damaged, so I'm going to send it back, which is why I have no problem using it for the demo, because it's already damaged. Has a big chip on the corner there. But here is the very, very basic stuff you need. So I'm going to quickly show you right now. There's card sleeves, and these are the regular ones. I put everything that's 100 point and lower in these. And I have thick card sleeves, so everything over 100 goes in these. I have team bags. And actually, before I get to team bag, I have top loaders, because you put it in the sleeve and then you put it into a top loader after. So I have these are 100 point right here. 108 point. And this is a super thick one, just for an example of how big they get. They get even bigger than that. Here, the regular ones, these ones say rookie card in them, but just ignore that. These are an option to get that rookie card there, but the regular ones won't have that. But pretty thin, and you put most cards in these. And then there's 130. So these are actually the ones I use the most. So if you're saying, hey, what supply should I get? These are the 3 sizes I use the most. Then there's team bags. So once you top load a card, you want to put it in here. There's one-touch resealable bags. And once you mag or one-touch a card, like this, for example, this holder, or the ones in the back right there, you put them in these. And then there's graded card sleeves and semi-rigid holders. So you put graded cards in here and stuff you're going to grade in here. I wouldn't suggest grading maybe immediately. I'd maybe just, first get if you're a really beginner, then I wouldn't grade yet. I would first, make sure you know your stuff and then grade. But if you do grade, yeah, I use these graded card sleeves and these semi-rigid holders. But those, minus these two, because I don't think these are needs, but everything else here I would consider a huge essential. And then this is a mag here. The mag, this is a black one, but usually they're clear. This would be an essential too. So if I take this out, these 2 sleeves, a mag, you probably clear one I'd go with, but I just wanted to show you those options. The one-touch resealable bags, team bags, and then regular top loaders, 100 point and 130. Those are the essentials if I really had to recommend supplies for you guys. Storage-wise, once again, you can go to your card shop, or you can just buy a box from any store really and store your cards. There's no set box that cards have to be stored in. If you have a card shop where you're going to order off one of those online sites, then they show you different there'll be white boxes you can buy, like vault boxes, 400 count boxes, 3-row shoe boxes, stuff like that. And you can store your cards in there pretty easily. Once again, they don't all fit, for example, graded cards. They don't all fit magged cards. They don't all fit top-loaded cards. But the point is that there's a lot of options out there. So I used to, for the first year and a half, I didn't use any of those boxes. I just stored them all in a regular box that I had kind of lying around. As long as you're not shaking it up or anything like that, you'll be fine. But anyway, let's kind of move this aside. So I'm going to show you how I use all these supplies right now. I mean, some of it can be pretty straightforward, but I'm just going to show you how I personally do it. So I have this Michael Porter Jr. card, and it's super shiny, it's super slick. So, say I pulled it from a pack. First thing I have to do is gently put it down, and I open this up, and took this sleeve out. I want to take the card, and I want to put it in the sleeve. So usually I rub my 2 fingers together like this, and it opens up right there, see? And I put the corner in, and just slide it down. Other way to do that, the only other way I like to do it is like this. So same thing, pinch, rub, and then put it in like that. Now the card's in. So say this was a little bit thicker and this card wasn't going in. You never want to just push, say this corner wasn't going in, and I keep pushing it, you're going to damage the corner. Instead, I have a little knife here, and I just cut this right here. So I just lightly take it, and I just cut the edge a bit. So notice how right here, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but yeah, it's going to be kind of tough. But here, let me see if I can show you. So right here, it's just a little bit cut. See that? Small cut in the sleeve itself. Right there, that white line is the cut. So that'll let the edge kind of spread a bit, and notice how I can put my card kind of through it. So this will let it spread, and it won't chip the corner as it goes in. Now, not everyone does that. I personally like doing it. I think it's more protective on the corners. Once I put it in a sleeve, so like this card goes in with no problem. But maybe more sensitive paper cards, I might cut the corner a bit. Or if it's a really valuable card, I'll definitely cut it so it doesn't touch the corner at all. But thicker cards, say you're trying to squeeze in 100 point in here, you'll probably want to cut the edge. So now that I pulled it, I want to top load it and push it in. It won't go all the way in. You could, some people go like this and they kind of like open up the top load and push it a little more. I like to bang it on the table. I'm not going to do that for the sake of the mic, but I'll just bang it on my hand. And notice how it moved down like a few millimeters. If I really, went nuts and jammed this thing in like this, it would go deeper. But the point is, as long as you bang it like this, and for example, I'll do it lightly here, like do that like 10 times harder, or maybe not 10, but like a few times harder, and it'll go to the bottom. Then I just grab some painter's tape, and I just kind of, not this much, but you kind of just fold it over. And this leaves no residue, so you kind of keep it sealed so the card won't slide out if I put it down like that. You want to make sure it's nice and tight. Now that's protected in there, I need a team bag, and actually I was going to use this card originally, but I just grabbed the Porter Jr. So this is a team bag. This is this, and usually there's a little strip you pull off. Usually I first slide it in, imagine that the thing's still on, then I rip off this, fold down, boom, and your card is protected. Now this goes the same for the larger one, so if this was like a thick card with a jersey in it, I would put it maybe this one, or I would size it up and maybe I'd put it in this one, depending on how big it is. But once again, supplies can be expensive, so the reason why I recommend just these 3 sizes is because you can fit most cards in 130. There might be some bigger than 130 sometimes, and you have to buy more top loaders, but for the most part, they'll fit in there. If they're kind of small, larger than regular, you might want to put them in the hundreds, which will fit anything under 100 obviously, but 75 and 55 point. You don't use all the time, so sometimes you kind of just go a little up, and if you don't want to buy a whole pack, but sometimes you do buy the pack and it'll fit more closely, but as long as you put the tape, the card should be secure. Next, we're gonna, since we covered these sleeves, the team bags, we're gonna go into the one touches. So I'm gonna take this Porter Jr. out, team bag. This is this random strip of painter's tape I had just sitting next to me. Take that off, put it back where I found it. So now we're gonna mag the card. So if I actually pulled this card, maybe I think it's, with the bomb, this is the sickest card I pulled in my life. And we'll put this top loader back. So now I have this Porter Jr. And I pulled it, it's sick. I'm lightly put it down. Usually this will be clear, but I just want to show you the black one. And I open it up. There's a little thing here. You just open it up and you lightly put your card in. I would be more gentle than I'm being now. I'm kind of just dropping it in because it's already damaged. Now it's a chrome card. If it's a chrome card or a loose fit card, sometimes people don't like mags because they shake around. I like to put a sleeve in front and then close it so the card doesn't get scratched by the surface when it shifts. Not everyone does that, but I personally do that. And then the mag itself is just as important. Just like the top loaders, the mags have to be protected. They're expensive. Once they get scratches, they're kind of ugly. So you want to buy these bags too and protect the mag, because there's nothing worse than a scratched mag. And now this is protected. So there you go. That's how you use that. And in the rare case you have a graded card, these graded card sleeves are the same thing as those two. You take the bag out and just put it around your graded card. For example, these PSA ones are a little thin. There's more options on eBay for a tighter fit. And then here's a Zion that uses, if I'm sending it off to grade, I have it in a sleeve, and I use it in these semi-rigid card holders. Once again, I wouldn't recommend grading until you fully have the grasp of everything. And then the last thing, I guess, would just be obscure cards. I have a booklet card. It could be horizontal, it could be vertical, or it could be super thick. In the case where you have oddly shaped cards, protecting them is hard. You might need to buy a pack of thick top loaders or a pack of horizontal booklet holders and sleeves and protectors for the top loaders, which can be expensive, which is why they can kind of be a pain sometimes. Some shops sell them individually, but not many. So you'll have to buy the full pack. You can find them on eBay and your LCS and the sites that I mentioned. But there's protection for everything is the general gist of what I'm saying. If you look, you can find everything to protect your cards. But yeah, once again, your essentials, I would recommend the 130s, the 100s, the regulars. I wouldn't recommend these just yet until you're, ready to actually buy graded cards. And these, if you're going to send them off to grade, your one touch and team bags, card sleeves, and voila. That's it. That's all I would use for now. And that covers most of what I wanted to say here. So I think that I showed you guys, I told you pretty much where to get them, what I use, and this is all the stuff I use pretty much. I mean, you look at all my cards, they're always protected in the same thing. I have more supplies, but I don't need all the supplies, But the ones I use are always the same ones, which is why I showed you guys. But I showed you where you can find stuff to store the cards themselves, those big white boxes. Also, yeah, this little pack right here, those are the essentials, and then I showed you how exactly I go about protecting them. Overall, I'm gonna get some cards to close out this video. I'll show this Luca. This is a cool one. Overall, I think it helps to just make sure you do your research, and it takes time. I think that when I first started collecting, it took me forever to figure out all this stuff. It was very frustrating. I can understand that, but after a while, you get the hang of it. You understand point sizes better. You understand how to protect them better, and I must say it's just very important, because people have shown me cards that they got lucky. It was their third box they ever bought, and the card is destroyed because it wasn't protected. So it's so important to protect. And yeah, I'll make more videos for beginner topics. If you have any suggestions or any questions, let me know down below in the comments, and I'll try to answer them if I haven't already, or maybe in a video possibly. So yeah, good stuff. I'll make tons of more stuff like this, and definitely always protect your cards. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.